Once you understand this, approaching women becomes way easier than scrolling YouTube. How to make cold approaching women easier than scrolling YouTube. The thing that I've learned after coaching over 200 successful guys is most men today are living their lives like closet heterosexuals. They're ashamed of being men, having masculine desire. Really what I want to do is just kind of give you everything you need to overcome this fear. I know this works because it's worked for over 200 of my clients. You can look at Christine Casanova testimonials on YouTube, so you know I'm not talking out my ass. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to make cold approaching women easier than scrolling YouTube. But before I give you the tangible tactics that you can start using immediately to just get over all of that approach anxiety that you currently feel, I think it's important to understand why you actually experience these sensations, because a lot of this shit is actually not your fault. You might think there's something wrong with you. You might think you're broken. You might think this anxiety thing is something you're never going to be able to get a handle on. The reason why you feel this fear of cold approaching women is because of primitive programming. If you think back to the caveman days, if you were to approach a woman in prehistoric, primitive times, then it would have meant your DNA wasn't worthy of replication if she rejected you. So rejection wasn't just social embarrassment, it was actually exile. Yeah, it was exile from the tribe, from shelter, from food, from sex, and from reproduction. So in the modern world, when you see a woman and you think about going over and giving her a compliment, you're being bombarded by this primitive programming. But then it gets even worse, because modern society, the way it's set up, and you probably understand this, the way modern society is set up, I call it the great sedation. Everywhere you go, every app you see, every ad that you scroll, every excuse that you tell yourself, it's all part of a sinister plot to keep you as a static spectator in your own life. Even think back to when you were a kid at school, right? You were told what to do. You were told to wear a certain uniform, sit here, don't speak up, don't question anything, don't have opinions that go against the status quo. So you've been conditioned to play it safe from birth, yeah? And it's no wonder when you see a beautiful woman who you want to talk to, it's no wonder why you think too many steps ahead. It's no wonder why you reject yourself on her behalf. It's no wonder why you experience failure in advance. And that's why I want you to get it into your minds. It's not you, it's your conditioning. And a lot of this shit, it really isn't your fault. You've just been conditioned from an early age to think putting yourself out there and going after the things that you want is wrong in some way. Every time you walk over to that woman, even if the approach goes shit, even if you don't get a phone number, even if you don't get a happy ending, every time you approach, you invest into your freedom. You invest into the identity of the version of yourself who you want to embody. Because every time you don't approach that woman, it's not just you're not approaching her, you are allowing the system to condition you. You're saying to the world, hey, I'm happy being a slave. I'm happy being a programmable pawn, a copy of a copy of a copy. Once you understand the primitive programming, once you understand that the primitive programming is being fueled and accelerated by modern conditioning, you realize the system is simply set up for you to live your life like a closet heterosexual. And then if you're anything like me, you then view daytime cold approach not just as a way to get consistent, repeatable dates with higher quality women. You see it as a reactionary movement to take back control of your life. So now we understand the conditioning. How do you actually make approaching women even easier? The first thing that you can implement is what I call the excuse me principle, right? It's really fucking easy. All you need to do when you see an attractive woman is say, excuse me. Once you've said the words, excuse me, the woman's going to look at you and she's going to expect more words to come out your mouth. So once you've got her attention, which for most guys is the hardest part. For most guys, the hardest part is just initiating. That's why when I work with my guys one-on-one, I push them into over 100 approaches in a single weekend. So over the space of just 3 days, they're pushed into over 100 daytime cold approaches. So all of this approach anxiety, all of this fear of the feminine, all of this being scared of losing value in the eyes of a woman, oh, what are people going to think of me? What if this approach goes bad? All of that bullshit is just bulldozed through. Like, they take so much action that action becomes their default operating system. But the way we do it is we start off with, excuse me. Okay, so just get used to saying that. If you're in a supermarket, if you're in a shopping mall, if there's a woman walking past you on the street, just practice saying excuse me, because once you've got her attention, all you then need to do is say, hey, you look incredible. Have a good day. Congratulations. You are now no longer a closet heterosexual. And guys are often like, yeah, but isn't it all about delivery? Don't I need to be smooth and suave and James Bond-esque? I'm like, no, motherfucker. You just need to give yourself permission to suck. You just need to give yourself permission to fail, to look like a tit in public. Because if you're anything like the high achieving guys that I work with, you've probably fallen into what I call the optimization trap. And the optimization trap it's the lie you've been sold of build it and they will come. Oh, just ignore women until you're 35, focus on your career, and then someday, somehow, the woman of your dreams is going to magically appear. And it's like, it's complete horseshit. It conditions men such as yourself to live passively. Living as a passive spectator is not going to get you the results in dating that you're looking for. You need to put yourself into the field. You need to put yourself out there. You need to give yourself permission to fail, permission to fuck up, permission to look like a bit of a tit, even though that goes against all of the biological conditioning. But if you can prioritize imperfect action, that's how you win. The amount of guys that I've worked with, I'm thinking about guys like Augustus, Jazz, Lucas, George, Joseph, Ephraim, Genki, Shay. All of these guys have the same fears that you've got right now. What if this approach goes bad? What if people see me being rejected? What if I get rejected and I'm not able to recover from it? I'm not sure if cold approach can work. I'm not sure if cold approach can work for a person like me. And all I made them understand was belief follows action. You cannot think your way into confidence. You have to prioritize the behaviors over the beliefs. It's almost like saying to yourself, I'm going to think my way to getting a six pack, or I'm going to think my way to becoming a multi-millionaire, or I'm going to think my way to a better lifestyle. Great. Thinking is a precursor to action. Thinking will get you so far, but the thing that moves the needle is taking the action you don't want to take, and the majority of men don't want to take either. And for me, that was always a massive motivating force, because I understood something like daytime cold approach, most men are not going to do it. Okay. And once you've unlocked this superpower, it separates you from pretty much every other guy on the planet. You've got this superpower, but until you've done 100 approaches and been given real-time feedback, like all of my clients, all of this theory, all of this consumption, it's just wanking in the wind. So if you can prioritize imperfect action, if you can just go out today with the mindset of, I'm just going to go out and get rejected, that is a fucking fantastic mindset to get started with. Rather than going outside to get a result, you view the rep as the reward. So you go out with the mindset of being rejected. I've actually put a video on my main channel, which is I approached 33 girls in London to overcome my fear of rejection. I'll link it at the end of this video. But that video shows in real time, rejection is not going to ruin you. Every fucking person gets rejected, but rejection is a rite of passage. The majority of guys today, they want to live comfortably, right? They prioritize comfort over character. Oh, I'm just going to swipe my life away on a screen, or I'll try and strategically get Susie through my social circle. Oh, I'll just rely on getting drunk girls in nightclubs. Like all this nonsense that cold approaching women is creepy. It's complete bollocks. I'll tell you what's creepy. What is creepy is lingering at the back of nightclubs, waiting for girls to get too drunk to then approach them. Daytime cold approach is the gentleman's way. It is the least creepy way of approaching women. That's why I view it as the modern day rite of passage. We don't need to go into the wilderness anymore for 40 days and 40 nights and return as men. Everything is easy. Everything is comfortable. We live in a society addicted to immediacy. Oh, I'm horny, porn. Oh, I'm hungry, Uber Eats. Oh, I'm bored, Netflix. So if you can be the action-focused Renaissance warrior who just says to the world, you know what? I am scared right now. I do doubt myself. I do grapple with a perceived lack of self-worth. Even though I've stacked all of these accomplishments in my life, my professional success does not translate into dating success. And it probably pisses you off to know that there are guys out there who are no smarter, no richer, no more better looking than you, who are taking action and claiming the women who should have been yours just because they had the balls to say fuck it and say hello. Like, dude, this game is about opening. if you can become great at opening, which is saying, excuse me, and then giving women a genuine compliment, you are so far ahead of the modern man. You are so far ahead of the competition. And I've seen it time and time again with my clients. I work with guys who are doing well in every area of life, apart from this one crucial area. And once they unlock this skill, they become dangerous. They become dangerous players in the sexual marketplace because they've got this superpower in their back pocket. And I think just becoming more retarded is probably the best advice I can give you right now, because there are guys out there who don't have the same money and status and achievements as you. They've got two brain cells to rub together and they're crushing it. Why? Because they're not in their heads, right? Dating is not a thinking man's game. You can't think your way into dating success. I do think becoming more retarded, becoming more low IQ is the way you get success with it. Because when I'm working with my guys, these are cognitive, analytical guys who spend a lot of time behind a computer solving cognitive problems. When it comes to land of women, it's a different fucking game, dudes. It's a different fucking game. And this is why things such as the black pill, right? You know those black pill morons online who say it's all about looks, right? Attraction is genetic. You've either got it or you don't. The reason why they fail is because they don't understand men and women have got completely different attraction triggers. We are attracted to novelty. We're attracted to opportunity. We are attracted to the visual. Women's attraction triggers are completely different to men's. Women get turned on by narrative. They get turned on by psychological stimulation. It's leadership, dominance. It's guys who can go after what they want, being risk takers, being bold, adventure heroes. This is what turns women on. It's not what you say. It's not how you say it. It's who you are when you say it. This is a game of identity, and this game has got lost by all of these pickup morons online who tell you to overcomplicate intersexual dynamics. You've probably seen them online. These guys who spend about 40 minutes dissecting their verbal game, and you're sat there as a high achieving dude thinking, I don't want cold approach to become a second job. I just want a predictable, reliable way to bring higher quality women into my life. I don't want to get a doctorate in sexual dynamics. And that's why the system that I created, Anti-Game Artistry, it just strips everything down to its core. All cold approach comes down to is open and close. Once you understand this, approaching women becomes way easier than scrolling YouTube, because open and close, meaning all you need to do is say, excuse me, give a compliment, and then cap that conversation off with a close, meaning you go for some form of contact detail. So it's like, excuse me, you look incredible. I want to take you out on a date. What's the best way to get a hold of you? That's all you need to do. So if you're a high achieving guy and you've got everything figured out except this one crucial area, and you're like, do you know what? I don't have the time to piss away anymore. I've got success. I know what I'm doing in most areas of life. But when it comes to approaching women, I feel like a closet heterosexual. I feel like a deer in headlights. I understand every time I don't take action, or I don't take the action I keep telling myself I'm going to take, it's quietly chipping away at my confidence. Then you can click the first link below. You can apply to work with me one-on-one. Like I say, what I do, I know it works because it's already worked for over 200 guys. I'll speak to you next one. Love you.